This podcast is sponsored by the online course, Intro to Psychology, with Dr. Bo Bennett, PhD. Uncover the secrets of the human mind and transform your life at introtopsych.com. Start your journey today.
Understanding Social Identity and Political Behavior, a Psychology 101 overview. Explore how social identity influences political behavior, and why our group affiliations shape voting and attitudes more than facts or policies. How social identity shapes our political behavior. Hey, so I wanted to share something pretty fascinating I've been thinking about lately: how social identity influences the way people behave politically. It's something we all experience in one way or another, whether or not we're aware of it. And it really highlights some core psychological concepts that pop up in pretty much every Intro to Psychology course. You know, when we talk about political behavior, most folks immediately think about rational choices, voting for the candidate whose policies make the most sense or who benefits you the most. But from a psychology perspective, it's not just about policies or facts. There's a huge part of it tied to our sense of belonging and identity. This is where social identity theory comes into play. Social identity theory basically tells us that we categorize ourselves into groups, like political parties, religious communities, or cultural identities, and those groups become a big part of how we define who we are. So when you identify strongly with a group, you tend to adopt the beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors of that group. It's not just about liking a political party because of their platform, it's about feeling like you belong, and that a sense of belonging influences your political choices far more than you might expect. Think about it. If most of your friends or family support a particular political party, you're likely to lean in that direction too, not because you've done a line-by-line analysis of their policies, but because supporting that party helps you maintain that group connection. It's a psychological need. We all want to belong. And the way our brain is wired, it tends to favor our in-group and sometimes negatively stereotype the out-group, the other political side. This is why political attitudes can feel so rigid, and why sometimes people get really defensive or even hostile when their political beliefs are challenged. It's not just about facts. Challenging someone's political identity can feel like a personal attack because it threatens their social identity, their sense of self. Now, this all ties into some of the foundational psychology theories that explain human behavior in social settings. For example, groupthink is another concept that links closely here. When people strongly identify with a group, they often prioritize harmony and conformity over critical thinking, leading to a collective way of thinking that might overlook alternative viewpoints or critical information. And that's why you see echo chambers in politics, both online and offline. People surround themselves with information that aligns with their group identity, reinforcing their existing beliefs and further solidifying their political behavior. Interestingly, social identity theory also helps explain why political polarization has become so intense. Instead of just disagreeing on policies, people see each other as members of opposing tribes. This tribalism ups the stakes emotionally, which makes political compromise or conversation more difficult. So how can understanding social identity and political behavior help us? For one, it sheds light on why good facts or logical arguments don't always change minds. People aren't just thinking about policies, they're protecting their identity, their community, and their sense of belonging. Recognizing this can make us more patient and thoughtful in political conversations. From psychology education standpoint, this topic is a great entry point because it combines social psychology with real-world applications. It shows how abstract concepts like identity and group dynamics shape the world around us in very tangible ways. If you want to get a clearer picture of these psychological concepts, and many other psychology topics, you might want to check out the Intro to Psychology course by Dr. Bo Bennett on the Verversity.com platform. It's a really approachable course that helps you understand human behavior in everyday life, politics included. Understanding these underlying psychological processes can help us navigate political discussions more thoughtfully, or even question our own biases. It can also remind us that at the heart of political behavior is something profoundly human: our need to connect, belong, and define ourselves within a larger community. So next time political topics come up, just remember, it's not always about facts or logic. Sometimes it's about identity and the group you feel closest to, which shapes how you see the political world around you. If this sounds interesting, I definitely encourage you to explore more about psychology in general. Enroll now in the Intro to Psychology course by Dr. Bo Bennett and dive into a wide variety of topics that explain human behaviour from the inside out. It's an engaging way to gain insight into why we do what we do, politically or otherwise.